Hi everyone, it's Gina. I wanted to share my Smudge Fan with you that I just completed. What I did was I have two osprey feathers that I actually collected in my backyard from just feathers that were dropped by osprey. There are actually a couple osprey nests around me, so I was lucky to find those, and they're quite long. So if you notice that my Smudge Fan is actually kind of long, which is fine, but I really liked these feathers. I also have an ostrich feather which I collected from a zoo that I visited several years back in Mississippi. And when I went, I saw these gorgeous peacocks walking around, and the guide said that they're getting ready to molt. So if I was interested in the feathers, all I have to do is follow them around, and guess what I did? I followed one, and eventually I was blessed with this little beauty. I also have another one, but I chose to use just one in this fan. Then I have a few other feathers that I added in here. I had actually bought these several months back, so I decided to add those in. You'll notice there's also a butterfly that's tucked away in there to represent us soul shifters. This is a paper flower that was on my mesa, and I decided to incorporate it into my fan. And because I didn't have a bee, what I did was I simply drew a bee onto that paper flower and attached it. Now, I do have a medicine packet in here, what you're looking at in the center, and I'm hoping it's not fuzzy. This green section is my little medicine packet, which has a piece of fabric that I use to create sculptures that I make. And in that piece of fabric is a piece of citrine, piece of clear quartz, carnelian, howlite, a piece of smoky quartz, green aventurine, and a piece of black obsidian. And there are also some herbal offerings, such as basil. There's also angelica root in there, calendula, and I dressed the four corners before rolling it up with my Ostara transformation perfume that I made during this month. So that is my little medicine packet that's in here. Now once I wrapped that on, I covered it up with some what do you call this, the floral tape to secure it, and then I wrapped some copper wire. You'll notice there's also copper wire incorporated in there, which is a really good conductor. And I had some gemstones that had holes in them, so I went ahead and just put each gemstone through, and then I just kind of woven it. I don't know if that's, I bent, you know, kind of alternating right and left so that they're all attached. And I ended it with a piece of clear quartz. I attempted to make a spiral, which wasn't too great, but it was an attempt. So I'm really glad how that came out. Now the piece of wood that I used is a piece of moringa branch that has been charged under the full moon for the last 2 months since I heard that we were going to be doing this. So that's a branch from my moringa tree. What else am I missing? Oh, this is a shell that I picked up when I went to Siesta Key. So that was one of the places where I was extremely calm, I noticed, and very inspired. So I wanted this to be more like a sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra wand to kind of unblock any blockages that there might be to creativity, passion, and that sort of thing. So there's a shell from my trip to Siesta Key, and over here I attached a piece of lepidolite, just a chip of lepidolite here, so that whenever I'm holding it, my thumb will go in that location, and it will help to kind of relieve any kind of stress or tension I might be feeling. On the back, I've also attached a double terminated piece of quartz just along the back of that feather, and I wrapped the entire thing just using some cotton twine just to hold it all together, and I think it came out really nicely. I was quite proud of myself. It's the very first wand that I made, and I'm glad I have been collecting the feathers because I wanted to incorporate things that I'd found that had some meaning, special meaning for me. Now let me give you a little bit of meanings of the feathers, which will tie it all together. So like I said, there are 2 osprey feathers on here. These 2 very long ones. And the osprey is considered to be a majestic bird of prey. And it's also a symbol of true power, mastery of the sea, air, and land. It has extremely keen vision. It's a lover of the sun. So these feathers actually represent the love of the sun, precision, having great vision, sharpness. It's a symbol of royalty and being confident in stature and capacity. The osprey is viewed as a messenger of the gods with its swift wings and mastery over air, land, and sea, like I mentioned before. It can fly pretty much anywhere and get anything it wants. So you can understand why I incorporated them into this particular wand or smudge fan, because I want to unblock some creativity blockages, and having the energy of these osprey feathers in there, I think is going to be amazing. The osprey is considered to be swift in flight and secure in its path, and it's linked to communication and divine inspiration. The osprey is also a symbol of fire, hence the relationship to the sun. It helps with your desire to communicate better, helps with motivation to be more active, as well as help with needed whenever we're in need of clearer vision. Now we're all familiar with the peacock, and I'm sure that if you've ever seen a peacock showing off its feathers, it is just absolutely stunning. Well, the peacock feather here represents vision, royalty, spirituality, awakening, guidance, protection, and watchfulness. It also represents resurrection, renewal, and immortality. Kind of reminds us of the phoenix that we've been working with, the energy that we've been working with this month. The peacock also reminds us to show our true colors and to just be ourselves, which is one of the wounds that I'm working with as far as my Chiron is concerned. So that is the main reason for my incorporating this particular peacock feather. And I'm sure you all understand why I have the butterfly in there, because it is representative of our class, Soul Shift. And the bee is also representative of our tribe, or should I say our hive. So let's do one more look-see, shall we? I'm really proud of myself. I really do love how my smudge fan came out. Thank you guys for being there. I am so glad to be a part of this.